Hello everyone, there's a good news for you. The 2024 Spring Cup Mathematical Olympiad is coming. In this video, I'm going to introduce all the information you may want to know about the competition. Now let's get started. Spring Cup is a traditional primary and secondary school mathematics competition originated in Beijing, China. It's named after it's held every year when the spring comes. In 1984, it had a huge impact in the early days of its establishment in Beijing and quickly became one of the criteria for selecting talents in various prestigious schools in the city. The Spring Cup has gradually emerged from Beijing and become an important competition for schools across China to measure students' mathematical abilities, mathematical thinking, and potential. In its 40 years history, the Spring Cup has undergone many changes. It's not only popular in mainland China, but also popular in Macau, Australia, New Zealand, and other places. On January 10, 2023, the competition was officially introduced to Singapore by Kangaroo Study. You may wonder, why is this competition worth to attend? We know that there are three most valuable competitions: RIPMWC, SMOPS, and NMOS at the primary school level in Singapore. They are held from March to June. The Spring Cup is held from June to February and adjusted its content to be closer to the three major competitions in Singapore, but even more difficult. So it can help students to check the floors and prepare for the three major competitions. Here, the picture shows the proportion of models in SMOPS and RIPMWC. We can see that the key model is calculation, geometry, and number theory. This picture is the proportion of models in Spring Cup. We can see that the key model is also calculation, geometry, and number theory. Next, let's compare the difficulty of Spring Cup to the three competitions. These two are geometry questions selected from RIPMWC and the Spring Cup. You may pause the video to read questions by yourself. Below are the two number theory and reasoning questions selected from SMOPS and the Spring Cup. These two are the distance problems selected from NMOS and the Spring Cup. By comparing these questions, we can see that the difficulty for Spring Cup is more than the three major competitions in Singapore. Now let's look at competition system and groups. There are two rounds, and the top 40% of participants in the first round can enter the second round. It's divided into three groups: lower grade group for P2 and P3, middle grade group for P4 and P5, senior group for P6. The awards based on the total score of the two rounds. Winning students will receive medals, certificates, and prizes. The gold medal is the top 8% of students. The silver medal is the next 12%. The bronze medal is the next 20%. The time for the first round is on January 28th, and the time for the second round is on February 23rd. The address is also shown below. The registration is open from 10 a.m. on December 6th. The registration fee is 10 Singapore dollars per person. You can register by downloading the Kangaroo Studies app by scanning the QR code below. Alright, that's all for today. Do not miss out the opportunity to challenge yourself. I hope to see you at the Math Cup.